Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Ari. We've got another episode for you today in the Law of One series, and this is going to be a short quote, a short, concise definition of the Law of One. We'll see if this episode actually ends up being short or if I just continue to rant because I love talking about this stuff and just learning more. So this quote is a concise definition of the Law of One. This comes from Ra in the Law of One, Book 1, page 85. Quote unquote, "The Law of One, though beyond the limitation of name, as you call vibratory sound complexes, may be approximated by stating that all things are one, that there is no polarity, no right or wrong, no disharmony, but only identity. All is one, and that one is love/light, light/love, the infinite creator." Absolutely beautiful, absolutely poignant. One sentence, Ra could basically describe the entire universe, and maybe this might all not make sense to you at first, and I know that this would not have made sense to me even 2 or 3 years ago. But the more I've started to study these topics and meditate and go within, the more I've started to realize the truth of this statement. And first of all, that the Law of One is beyond the limitation of name. It's beyond the limitation of these vibratory sound complexes that Ra calls them. It's not what we think of it. It's beyond thoughts. It's beyond words. It's beyond duality. It's beyond right or wrong. It's in a state of unity. But how do we perceive this? How do we get beyond the ego and perceive the Law of One? Perceive all that is. And words can be signs to help point to this, just like stories and fiction stories can help point to the truth. Words, at their deepest levels, are just illusions. They can help approximate this. This definition is an approximation of the Law of One, but it's not actually the Law of One. It's a good sign. It's a good pointer. It's a good hint. Think about it kind of like it's like a treasure map. These words and these phrases are all pointing towards where the treasure is, pointing towards the Holy Grail, the Law of One, where all things are one. In the Law of One, all things are one. This is a fundamental element of the universe. And if we don't see oneness in everything, that means that there's something within us that we're ashamed of, something within us that we fear, that we need to reconcile. In the Law of One, there is no polarity. Basically, in the last episode, we talked about the two ends of a magnet, the north and south. That would not exist in the Law of One. These things are all illusions. These things are all mind-made. Again, another thing, there is no right or wrong. That sounds crazy for us to even discuss. There is no right or wrong. But the deeper you get into it, you realize that these quote-unquote right and wrong things are all relative to your certain perspective. And they're things that we make up. They're things that are man-made, right and wrong. Things could be right to some people and wrong to other people. These right and wrong things aren't actually what is, because all that is just one, and it's all love. Again, there's no disharmony. All exists in unity. All basically coexists in harmony. There is no disharmony. So when we see disharmony in the world around us, all this war, we see that this is not actually conforming to the Law of One, but at the same time, it's our judgments and our perspectives which make it so bad also. We see all this war going on, and you'd say, how does that show unity? How does that show that it's all love, that it's all one? And it's because of a lot of misperceptions that we have about reality, and that we need to control other people or invade their village for scarce resources. And another bombshell that Ross says is that there is only identity. This makes complete sense. All is one consciousness, one identity that splits itself into many forms to act in this play, to act in this grand illusion, the Maya. All is one. There is one. The one is love/light. The one is light/love. The one is the infinite creator, which is all love and light and one and unity. And it sounds amazing and it sounds fantastic because it actually is. It really is. This is mind-blowing. This is paradigm-shifting information. I know to some people who don't care about this information as much as I do, you'd say, well, this all seems pretty theoretical. It doesn't seem like anything you could prove. How can you actually apply this knowledge? How can this knowledge actually help you just live a happier, healthier life? How does this fit into Wolftelligence? How does this fit into emotional intelligence and mental health and self-love? And I would say one of the reasons I started this series because the Law of One fits in perfectly with everything that Wolftelligence is about. All of these quotes, basically what I'm trying to do is show how they can be applied to your emotional intelligence, to your mental health, to your self-love. And I hope I've been doing a good job about that, but these are very complex subjects, and trying to distill them in as simple a way as possible will continue to be my goal on this journey.